We all had to live through Deflategate for 544 days to be exact, but for Tom Brady Sr., it was on a whole other level. Of course, the three-time Super Bowl MVP's father was privy to much more information, intimate details, and it's also his name that was being tarnished. Here's what he had to say to K-Ron 4 News. What the league did to him, what Roger Goodell constantly lied about, is beyond reprehensible as far as I'm concerned. He went on a witch hunt and gotten way over his head and had to lie his way out numerous ways. The reality is Tommy never got suspended for deflating footballs. He got suspended because the court said that Roger Goodell could do anything he wanted to do to any player for any reason whatsoever. That's what happened. The NFL admitted they had no evidence on him. Somebody that has Roger Goodell's ethics doesn't belong on any stage that Tom Brady is on. Well then, Max.
Yeah.
Is he justified?
Well, first of all, I have 3 daughters.
Okay.
Any parent is justified in defending their kid like to the death, right?
True.
That's what parents do.
True.
If your kid is under fire, you're going to defend them. You're going to go at whoever's, especially if there's reason to doubt, right? Even if there isn't, you might still defend your kid. Oftentimes, most would, and we could argue about that. But especially when there's good arguments on both sides, you're going to go at whoever's attacking your kid. And secondly, what is Tom Brady's dad doing here? He's essentially accusing Roger Goodell of wielding too much power, of seeking autocratic rule, of the problem. He's really saying, here's the problem with authoritarianism, is that it comes down to if someone has a personal beef or a preference, they can impose their will, and it's not necessarily just, and it's not even necessarily in the best interest of what's going on. It has to do with their own peccadillos and their own preferences. He's making a case against authoritarianism, which at this moment in time in this country is actually very resonant.
Well, you can relax because you'll have plenty of time.
I was about to say.
I knew that was
We're not going to go into that mode right now.
Here's the only difference. Here's the only
That's
difference.
for the 11 o'clock hour.
plenty of time.
11 o'clock, it's your time.
The only difference is Roger Goodell would have to respect a court order. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Here's the deal. In all seriousness, I can respect where Tom Brady Sr. is coming from. That's his son. And any son would want a father like that to come to his defense. So I applaud the man. But that doesn't make him accurate. The latter part of his quote is what this speaks to. And at the end of the day, you're not bigger than the shield. And so, yes, it's true. Tom Brady didn't get suspended because of deflated footballs. Tom Brady got suspended because Tom Brady tried to challenge the authority of the commissioner, and the commissioner flexed his muscle on behalf of the 32 owners, one of whom is Tom Brady's boss, basically saying, excuse me, no matter how large you are, no matter how epic you are, you ain't bigger than the shield. It was here before you arrived, and it will be here when you are gone. And I think that I say that because it's imperative that everyone out there understands none of us are stupid enough to impugn the greatness and the integrity of Tom Brady in that regard. We know what Tom Brady means to football, what he's represented. He's a champion 4 times over. But it doesn't negate the fact you could have handled things differently. It doesn't negate the fact that had this been Donovan McNabb or a bevy of other quarterbacks, we would have been speaking about their arrogance. We would have been speaking about who the hell do you think you are because you ain't bigger than the shield. Tom, I'm going to say this again. And I'm going to put it in plain English for everybody. This is America. We live in a country that's 66% white. It don't get much larger in sports than Tom Brady. He's white. He looks great. His wife is off the charts. I still can't get over the runway walk to open the Olympics.
It's something special.
It's something special.
Was that over a mile and a half?
Look, she could have walked. She could still be walking. I'd still be watching. That's how sensational she was that day. She was phenomenal. I mean, this dude, you're rich, you're famous, you got a supermodel wife, you've got a pristine image, all of these other things.
4 Super Bowls.
You got a good father.
All you had to do was sit up there and pick up the phone. Roger, can we talk? No, you refused to do that. You wanted to fall along the Belichick lines with the Patriot way. You wanted to sit up there and all of a sudden your text messages were erased or your cell phone got lost or destroyed or broken. I broke that story. You got all of that going on. You could have handled it differently.
There's an investigation. Hold on a second.
And even though his father didn't say that, I wish that his father would have chilled with the acerbic language towards Goodell, because in the end, as a dad, you might have sat up there and advised your son, look, There's times when we have to bite the bullet. It's sickening, but this is one of those times.
I agree with him defending his son. I mean, for all of us who have kids, yes, we have to step in front of the bullet and be able to take it for him and be able to explain why. Now, in this situation, we fail to realize that the players have voted on Roger Goodell to have this authority.
Yeah.
You know, so don't get upset now when all of this goes on. A lot of this is carried over because Tom has taken it too far. Now, remember, it was at first it started out as a 4-game suspension and would have been dropped or reduced to 2. And as a quarterback in this league, and we've all signed a petition since 2005, I believe, or even before, we all signed a petition that we can have the footballs earlier to be able to cater it to how we like it for game time and then be able to play with the footballs we've practiced with. That was something as quarterbacks in the NFL, all across the NFL, that we signed, including Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Now, did he have anything to do with deflating the footballs? No, he probably didn't take the air out of the footballs, but he told the equipment staff how he wanted the footballs. Now, did he know where the PSIs were? No, he probably didn't. But when he got up there in the press conference and said, I like my footballs etched. Now, first of all, as you ask any other quarterbacks, they wouldn't be able to explain where they like them at. They'll just say, I like the way they feel here. My footballs are always ready and prepared for Sunday because I practiced them and I put them where I like them. Now, that was one instance. Now, for his dad to be able to come out at this time, going to the Super Bowl, it's all bad timing. We talked about distractions leading into the Super Bowl. This is a major distraction for the football team.
Unless Tom Brady goes out and balls and they win.
Right. This will be a distraction that we will talk about if they don't win this Super Bowl.
But is it a distracting? He's just supporting his son. So I feel, if that was me, I'd feel more empowered to get out there in my field, like my family's behind me.
Well, that's great, but then the rest of the team has to answer all this because who knows if the dad has hung out with any of the players or the players have been over to the house. Now Julian Edelman has to talk about it. Now Bill Belichick probably is going to be asked about it. Bob Kraft is going to be asked about it. This is one that's going to be disturbing to a lot of different people because of what his dad may have mentioned.
Not just that, the timing in regards to that. You could have said it after media day because the son has to go up there before the media in preparation to the Super Bowl. And now, even though he was going to be asked about it before, he's going to be bombarded with it ad nauseum because now, what are you going to sit up there and say? No comment to what your
He already addressed it on WEEI.
Well, he talked about, he told his dad.
WEEI.
Gag order.
Hold on, wait.
I know where you're
WEEI is a great radio station.
But
they ain't the media during Super Bowl week. You've been there during Super Bowl week?
I have.
During Super Bowl week.
It is disturbing.
It is. I've been to several of them, and I'm telling you right now, doing the show on Radio Row, let me tell you something right now. Super Bowl week, that media, it's on another level. And for your son to have to be subjected to this stuff because of what you said.
You're looking for stories, and you just gave it to
him. And I guarantee a lot of media outlets in Media Row will be trying to get Tom Brady's dad.
If he got to the Super Bowl through Deflategate, I think he'll be okay this week having to deal with his dad's comments. Just my 2 cents.